What's up everyone? So put aside your phones, watch your screens, and you're about to go crazy about what I've dug up here in Dubai. So let me remind you, there was a Russian financial pyramid called Finico that, according to our calculations, collected about $4 billion. In my previous videos I did some investigation about the referers who had been luring people into the pyramid, but that's not the point. The point is that there are three most important founders left to find. They got about $1 billion, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, and according to information we got, they were hiding in Dubai. This is Edward Sabirov. This is Marat Sabirov. And they are not brothers, just have the same names. Yeah, we got two Sabirovs and it's quite funny that you're confusing them. And Zygmuntovich, it's exactly what was written in his passport. Kirill Doronin, that bald guy as you remember, he got caught and now is in a pre-trial detention center. So there are still three more left to find, and absolutely no one knows their whereabouts. It's been like, what, a year and a half, 2 years since they fled from Russia. Zygmuntovich has been caught recently, arrested by Interpol, and he is awaiting extradition from that country back to Russia. Marat Sabirov's whereabouts are still unknown. Edward's ones are well known. He recently made a statement, broke the silence after a year and a half, and made a video. He's the man who got all the Finico's money. His name is Daniel Magsumov. Here is the photo of him. He is that grey cardinal, the shadow player whom you've been looking for so long.
Hey, here you go. Keep the change.
And all that money was wasted on real estate in Russia, yachts, parties, cars, and other things.
How much, блядь? Олени, блядь!
He left me and my family with no possibility of informational existence, in some kind of vacuum. And I also know that this man...
Hey, fucking dears!
So Edward in his video stated that it wasn't him, he didn't co-found Finico, there's a grey cardinal. And let me tell you how the money is distributed within our company, and there's a really good interest profit. And that grey cardinal is Daniel Magsumov. He got all the money. We're gonna touch on all of this in today's video. And Edward turned out to be a victim. Magsumov terrorized his family, didn't let Edward anywhere out, so allegedly that's the reason he decided to make this video message. But we will try to figure out why Edward decided to take revenge on him, not clear. He should be fine after all, but apparently he lost everything, there is nothing left to lose, and he decided to come out publicly with a statement. What are the profits for him? Not clear. He registers all the property in the name of his relatives. But for some reason, guys, Edward didn't mention what he got here in Dubai. So, my friends, I have discovered his villa, which he bought relatively recently, a few months ago, not right away when he arrived here, for 50 million dirhams. That's like 1 billion rubles. I found that villa, it had 2 checkpoints that I managed to pass, because I was also looking for a house to buy for myself. So I took a right and by chance found the Edwards villa. Can I have a look for a second? So guys, here's where his villa is located. It's weird that it's closed. So now we're going to the other side because we can't get through the fence on this side, so we'll try to approach there from the other. I found ya. Cozy area. And that's how people live with 3,500 bitcoins. Mr. Crow, could you please tell me where Edward is? Look, it's beautiful here, ain't it? Like 3,500 bitcoins. You remember I traced their withdrawal thanks to your help in this. So this is where Finico founders get their real estate, namely Edward Sabirov. Let's take a walk and find the place on the map from this side. Golf courses, gorgeous.
Моя мама больной очень человек, поскольку она уже не могла больше работать в огороде. Она продала этот огород. Даже вообще ничего не могу купить в долговой яме. Да в такой, что даже не выбраться никак. Зато 2 детей на руках.
Просто хотелось покупать одежду не со скидкой, продукты не со скидкой.
I'm a father of many children, 3 kids, and my family is my priority. It's very important. I started doing business with this company for my family.
Как дальше жить, я не знаю. Я понимаю, что работая на одной работе, я не смогу оплатить этот кредит. Придется искать вторую работу.
So I've come back here after I found out where the Edwards villa is located exactly. It's right behind me, with a playground. It's a 3-story building, underground parking lot. That's the playground there. The first floor, the second, the third, so it goes. There's a terrace up there, a swimming pool is down there. The entrance to underground parking lot is on the other side. So this villa costs about 1 billion rubles, 15 million dirhams. A birdie. So, yeah, this is where the suffered people's money went. And those guys asked me to leave because they were playing golf. So here you can see all the receipts of the house payments Edward made. One receipt is still missing, but the overall amount is already near 50 million dirhams. And also I got this code. It can only be checked via Edward's phone, his personal account, but I'm presenting it to you anyway, and it basically means that Edward Sabirov is the owner of the villa. When I came there yesterday at sunset, Edward was still at large, with his buddies and guards. Today, when I came there at noon, I got information that Interpol captured him and put him in jail. I checked it out and it's 100% true. It's amazing how Interpol found him, but keep watching the video, more on that later. So where did I get all that information from? His address, those receipts and stuff? I was contacted by Magsumov's relatives. I tried contacting him first to ask him for an interview. Obviously, I was denied, but promised some information about him. And at the same time, one of Magsumov's relatives contacted me and offered to meet. I was like, sure thing, let's meet. And we met and he provided me with a lot of information, so let's take a look, analyze it and make conclusions, shall we? And let's start with the story of those 3 fleeing from Russia and what has happened here so far. First, they took a transit flight through Belarus by a private plane, a superjet. With no papers, by the way, as I was told they didn't go through border control there. But wait, how is that even possible? Well, it is, as you can see, and when they arrived here in Dubai, they got local passports, IDs, residence cards. That allowed them to leave and do business here. So when they were declared wanted by Interpol, they had already got their papers, and as I found out, Interpol don't do much of a search here until you turn up by your own, either when you leave the country and the airport staff is like, bro, you're wanted by Interpol, let's have a talk, or when you do something bad here, get caught drunk or something else. After he took me with him, he locked me inside of a house. He didn't allow me to go out anywhere, to speak to anyone, to have any bank cards and stuff. So the first thing Edward did, we will talk about him today quite a lot, was renting a villa on Palm Islands, artificial islands with the most expensive villas. I even heard somewhere that even Cristiano Ronaldo lived there. So he rented a villa, and right after that he bought, what did he buy? Your guesses? You're right, a McLaren 765 LT. There are like 10 of them in the world, and he bought it. For 1,800,000 dirham, it's like 30 million rubles. Here's the photo of the car taken near that villa Edward rented. His own vehicle. And by the way, he didn't register the car to himself, but to his friend, and it's easy to check. Just take the license plate and see that it's registered to his friend, who has never in life made as much money as Edward did. So this way, he was trying to withdraw crypto that Finico had stolen and somehow materialized it. Like here's my McLaren, I can sell it, 30 million rubles, great, isn't it? After that, he got himself a Cadillac, and in addition to that, a Harley Davidson. As you can see, he had his Cadillac tuned at the service, not just a random service, but his own car service here. Got his car taped, and Edward was filming it himself. Hey Danny, brother. So, this one is kinda good, but it fell off, and the fuck knows where it is now. This one is loose. You saying that it's somewhere here doesn't make me feel any better, you know? Fucking smart ass. And here too, making some noise. I did earn that money and I can account for every penny of it. So it doesn't look like he was kept locked indoors with no possibility to go out for a walk, does it? Quite the opposite. He tuned his car, made it more flashy so he could stand out here in Dubai. They also got an Audi Q8, which his wife, Roxana Sabirova, owns, so basically he lived large, and as I was told, Morgenstern himself performed once for Edward Sabirov's wife on 13th of March 2022. They rented out the whole restaurant Berezka here on Palm Islands so that Morgenstern could perform for Edward Sabirov's wife. Imagine that? I even know the lady who organized this show. Morgan, dear, don't you want to give back... yes, sure, he would say, I didn't know that. That was my fee for the show. Yeah, paid by a guy who scammed common folk. Yeah, no need to give back that money, I agree, you didn't know. However, now you know that, so I think it would be nice of you to give that money back to the suffered people. You know what it is? Burdening Morgenstern life. Well, what else can we do? What do you think? Will he give that money back? Oh, he may say the show never happened, but let me remind you, March 13, 2022, Restaurant Berezka. Morgan, dear, did the show happen or not? Be honest, did it? Huh? Hello, Crystal. Hello, Edward. Finico, my love. I need a bodyguard. Okay. I'm partying as hell and having a good time. He also had this collection of watches, Richard Mille. Each watch cost like 20-30 million rubles, and once upon a time his relative, I was talking about, paid him a visit and kinda saw one of the watches literally in the grass somewhere. So you see how he treated them, that attitude. What, 30 million ruble watch? Fuck it. As for Daniel being the Grey Cardinal and the main founder of Finico, Edward provided the following proofs. He registers everything to his relatives, such as father, mother, brother, wife's brother, and all the real estate is registered to them. So he showed us the father's photo, his house, which allegedly cost 400 million rubles. When I first saw this house, I was like, 400 million? What? So I thought to myself, it must be the land that's so expensive. But this house is like 10 million rubles, max. The whole homestead with the land, maybe like 15 million rubles, but 400 million? Come on. So he showed Daniel's father, brother, all the relatives. So he pointed out their cars, their bank accounts, provided tons of information. They even own yachts and stuff. But guys, it all doesn't really look like Finico's real founder's property, and it can't even compare with Edward's real estate in terms of lavishness. But anyway, Edward wouldn't have ratted on the guy out of the blue. Undoubtedly, Magsumov was related to Finico and was friends with Edward. It goes without saying, pretty obvious. So he took me to a different country and said that he was doing it to help me. Edward also provided screenshots of their correspondence showing that they were friends, they were really related to each other and to Finico. When Edward was on the run, Magsumov sent him photos of the criminal case, so either he was showing off like I'ma figure it out, don't worry, or he was actually solving problems for Edward. So in short, they had been connected from the beginning, and he knew Edward was on the run and where he was hiding. We can say it now for sure. What else was there in their correspondence? Daniel asked Edward to remain more closed from the people below the radar, and apparently someone was blackmailing them at that time. So there was some kind of tension, some people were blackmailing them. Also, Edward showed us some videos where the Grey Cardinal of Finiko, as Edward called him, is just swaggering, being rude and boorish, throwing the phones, throwing tips at someone instead of politely giving the tips. He's just showing off, and it's clearly seen. So Edward wanted to show us that those guys are just reckless and crazy. So let's draw a conclusion from the information Edward provided. The correspondence, criminal case issues, super jets, businesses like car detailing services, real estate in Sochi. But now it's time for a twist that almost made me go crazy. I thought it was all staged, really. No, it wasn't. Besides what you have already seen today, your brains are gonna explode now. About a year ago, Magsumov hired security for him and for Edward Sabirov. The security is registered in Moscow. Here in Dubai they are not registered, but they are here as well. And the security company is called Blackguard.Lux. Blackguard Lux. Here you can see. And so the guys from Blackguard Lux had been guarding them for more than a year. And suddenly, Magsumov's relative gets invited to Palm Island to a meeting, like, bro, come over here, kebabs, drinks and stuff. It's like a friendly meeting, everything should be okay. So Magsumov's relative goes there, enters the villa on that Palm Island, and sees that all the walls are pasted up with evidence, correspondences, accounts, all the incriminating evidence against Magsumov, who stayed in Moscow and who was declared by Edward the Grey Cardinal of Finiko. All the walls are covered with pictures, and the relative starts filming all this with his phone, because, well, they're still kind of friends, and they're like, yeah, film everything and send it to your brother, show him all this evidence we got against him, and let him contact Edward. Maxim Martinov, the head of the security, was there in the house that day, and he's also a co-founder and a shareholder of Magsumov's car detailing service here in Dubai. So Magsumov has 2 car service centers here, and the head of security who guarded him the last year gets profit from this. Know what I mean? Yeah, there was also this guy, Marat, the manager of the second car service center. He also got a certain stake in this business. Farukh, a security guard who also worked for Martinov and Blackguard. Here's the photo of that Farukh guy standing next to Sabirov's white Bentley. So, yeah, they are friends, hang out together, they all have stakes in the business. So I wouldn't be surprised if Sabirov is also in charge of those shady enterprises. Know what I mean? Well, okay, we're getting closer to that. And also Alexander, Maxim's friend. So all these dudes, family, friends, security guards, drivers, assistants, managers, they gathered and went, guys, we've collected dirt on you. So they intimidated with this dirt and set a condition, a meeting with Daniel. Otherwise, all you see on the walls, on the ceiling and on the floor will be leaked to the internet. Daniel owes money, let's figure it out, and he must meet with Edward Sabirov. And Magsumov's relative goes, but where is Edward? Don't see him here. And they're like, here he is, and started a Zoom meeting. So Edward goes, your brother should come out and contact me before Monday, and if he doesn't come out and solve all our financial issues, we will make public all this. Edward says to the relative, Magsumov's relative. Daniel is like, it's okay, I'm ready to talk, but one-on-one with Edward. Because who the fuck are you? Guards, drivers, buddies, who are you? It's all between him and me, we did all this together. Why do you care? And the security guards go, no fucking way bro, that's not how things are done, we will have a general meeting. And Magsumov didn't contact anybody, and after that the Telegram channel was created where they leaked all Magsumov's property, yachts, apartments, cars, bills, etc. I want to assure you that this channel is conducted on my behalf, and all the posts, all the correspondences, all the screenshots attached, all this is being posted by me. I assure you that Kirill Doronin will confirm that Daniel is the man who stole all the money and is still wasting it.
Hey, fucking dears!
One would ask, why? Why does Edward need to make public this conflict when he got a 1 billion rubles house, McLaren, oh, by the way, he eventually sold his McLaren. Anyway, he got everything. If you buy a house worth 1 billion rubles, it's surely not your last money because you have to maintain this property and you got immeasurable amount of crypto and stuff. Why do you need to make this public? Why are you giving yourself away? Solve this issue in a different way. And moreover, the security guards themselves risked their reputation by hanging their Blackguard flag there with the kitty. It's like their logo. Allowed themselves to be filmed, they're all there and the walls are covered with evidence against their client. And even on their official Instagram page with 500,000 subscribers, well, it's clear that not all of them are real people, but still, they shared a link to this Telegram channel so that their subscribers, their clients could check it out and see Edward Sabirov making his statements and exposing Daniel Magsumov and his deeds. Yes, sure, he's related. He's the Grey Cardinal of Finico, but the thing is that the guards are telling their audience, their future clients, their ex-clients, like, look, remember our client? He's kinda bad. In addition to that, they found a blogger who also shared the link to the channel on his Instagram page. Hey, I've talked to very respected people, they provided me with essential information about who the founders of Finico were and who were the top management. Do you wanna know? The top management are in Kazan. And just so you could see that they are all connected, here is the photo from Instagram. There is Maxim on the right with his wife, there is Farukh, the second guard, there is that blogger, all of them are on one photo together. What's more, Maxim's wife, that security head's wife, she's some kind of a PR person in the company called Karma Media, and she appeared on the screens with lots of stars, celebrities, including Goof shooting his music video there. Even I was there in that secret room. Yeah, like who else? Dmitry Nagiv was there, and she was a guest on a Malakhov's talk show. So basically she's working with celebrities while her husband is on Palm Islands in Dubai collecting incriminating evidence against his clients. Yes, your clients may be scammers, no problem with that, but you've been guarding them for a year somehow, and they weren't scammers for you. You calmly took their money. And this is how their head communicates with the staff on the Palm, simply kicking him right in the face. I won't show you the face of the man. And having kicked the dude in the face, he's like a hero slowly going back. Magsumov kind of pulled him away. Judging by the correspondence provided to me, that security head guy used to act as a problem solver, a fixer, solving the problems and the conflicts. So let me read the correspondence here. Superman is Edward Sabirov from Finico, and Don Corleone is Daniel, whom Edward accuses of being a founder of Finico. Such cool nicknames they made up for themselves, huh? So Daniel is reassuring Edward, like, don't worry. Edward's going, how am I supposed not to worry, brother? They already caught one of us. He's talking about Zygmunt, apparently. I don't know what he has told them, and we need Andrei's ID. What am I supposed to do, Danny? I'm going nuts here. So they need some Andrei's ID. Apparently there's another guy involved. I don't know who that is, and no, that's not me. Don Corleone, aka Daniel, going, all is good, bro. The information is coming from Russian sources only. It's about Zygmunt being arrested. I haven't yet received any confirmation from there. Well, like, he's not sure whether Zygmunt has been detained or not. You may wonder, like, can't they call Zygmunt directly and ask him? So I've checked it out, and it appears that there was some kind of an agreement that Edward, Marat, and Zygmunt, Finico Trinity, they buy real estate in different countries, do not exchange their phone numbers or anything, part their ways, and that's it. And so if one of them gets caught, the other two simply have no idea about the details of it. Cool plan, Walter. Reliable as a Swiss watch. So what are you worrying about? Is there anyone against you? Daniel asks Edward, and Edward goes, well, I don't know what he can tell them if they really caught him. It's still about Zygmunt. And it turns out that he can ruin my life here. That's what I'm worrying about. I told you before that Roxanne, Edward's wife, got eczema all over her body due to stress. It smells not good again. Which basically means they have experienced the danger of getting arrested not once. Daniel replies, don't lose your head, man, nothing happened yet, whatever he tells them, I don't think they will care much about it and look into it. Cops, he means. So don't think about it too much, nothing weird is happening. As for wanted, they live quite a fleshy life and keep behaving themselves bad. Well, seems like they had a fight or something, maybe. So, this was the obvious outcome. Okay, gotcha. We'll wait here, Edward goes. The most important thing, tell me honestly, have you heard anything about Chechens recently? Something bad they could do to you and me? Do you know anything about it? Daniel asks Edward. Did you really stop having business with them back then? And Edward goes, are you fucking kidding me? I told you not once that I cut all ties with them, and I've never lied to you, for fuck's sake. I've always told you the truth. I just want to make sure. I don't want anything bad to come out. And so after that, he forwarded messages from Maxim, the security head. Greetings, have a good day. The final bill for our work in Kazan is 11,182,000 rubles. How and where can we take them? And after those forwarded messages, Daniel writes to Edward, we're done with Max here. And Edward goes, yeah, I'm done with him too. I've put him on a blacklist and nobody knows my Dubai phone number. So as far as I get it, Magsumov called it quits with Maxim, and Sabirov also blacklisted him. Does it mean something has come up then? Was he related to those Chechens? Hello, Daniel, tell me. So Edward is clearly shitting bricks. He just saw one word and got anxious. And he then continues to ask questions about Maxim, if he was related to Chechens, says that he's posing threat to his family and stuff, maybe he should send them all on vacation somewhere. And Daniel goes, like, you're gonna be fine, bro, soon he will leave, all ties have been cut, so don't worry. Okay, gotcha, thank you so much. Well, I'm all nervous here. And Daniel goes, don't be nervous, bro. All that's happening is okay in your situation. You cannot avoid it, and I've told you that before. Well, like, they are wanted, and in this situation there always will be someone who'll try to get closer to them and their money. So, what can we learn from this correspondence? Edward was uptight, frightened by that security head Maxim because he constantly was giving them headache and stuff, but it's clear to us that both Magsumov Daniel and Edward refused security service. One of them blacklisted that security head, and the other one also cut all ties with him. And now it's time for one more correspondence, very interesting one, which again proves to us that security guards were trying to extort money from them. So Daniel is writing to Edward, "Hey, Maxim and Farukh had a meeting yesterday. Maxim, the security head, and Farukh is one of the guards. The latest version is they represent the interests of Patrushev, the Minister of Agriculture, and he allegedly invested, he means Finico here, and invested this exact amount, the amount they demanded from Sabirov and Magsumov. And I'm allegedly the Grey Cardinal who has been running all this. Ha ha ha." And Sabirov going, "Hi, the Minister of Agriculture? No fucking way. Man of such stature would definitely deal with Kirill himself first." He means Kirill Doronin. Apparently he used to lure big shots into the business. Or with Nikolai. Some Nikolai guy again, I don't know. Maybe you know? I'm confused already. Fucking Grey Cardinal? You've always said it's bullshit and you never showed up. He means in Finico. So what Edward is saying here is that there is no way Daniel is the Grey Cardinal and never showed up, and that's all just bullshit. That's just nonsense. If they need money, let them ask those who invited them to Finico. And I mean 3 people, the small one, the long one, and the bald one. The small one is Marat, the long one is Zygmund, and the bald one is Kirill. So Edward is not involved here. By the way, I can prove that this correspondence belongs to Edward and that Superman is him. You can go to that Telegram channel where Edward leaks all the information about Magsumov, and there you will see a police report he filed against Magsumov, and his email address is there. supermanblack@bk.com. See that? So this is one of the proofs. It's really him and it's his correspondence. And Daniel goes, "Well, unfortunately that's what it is. Apparently I'm fucked up in the end, we'll see." So he expected they would stab him in the back eventually, but what he didn't expect is that they would do it through Sabirov, that they would tell him to give away all the evidence. Sabirov replies here, "What do you mean fucked up? For what? Let's just give back the land and live in peace." So what we see here is that either they got some land they mutually own, or it's the Sabirovs' land which is registered in the name of Magsumov. So he's like, "Yeah, let's give back the land and everything will be fine." And Magsumov goes, "No way bro, once you give one thing away, others will come for another." "I understand that, but there's nothing left to give away. I don't have a damn thing, you don't either." "Well, yeah, if you omit the house worth 1 billion rubles, I already gave away everything I had." He probably means everything that was there in Russia, because that land they're talking about is apparently in Russia. "Don't you worry, they're not coming after you." He's like, "What are you whining about? Why are you forcing me to give away that land? It's up to me to decide." Edward goes, "That's not the point, Danny. I don't want anyone to come after you, especially those idiots." And then he sends him a screenshot with some emails, and we see there what those are. So which of these Patrushevs has invested 16 units? So who invested 16 units? And there is this list with the names, apparently the depositors' names. Daniel goes, "Fuck knows. But it doesn't have as many deposits. This is the whole database." So Edward shares the database with Magsumov, like there are no people asking for such amount of money, like who do we owe to? Even with those who have the biggest number of indices, it barely reaches 180,000 bucks. Indices, as you may remember, are some kind of points they bought for money, like when you invest in a pyramid you receive indices, and so here Edward is saying like there are no people with as many indices here. He shows the database and claims that they don't owe anything to anyone. That's just a scam by Maxim and the security guys. Yeah, maybe just racketeers hiding behind the pictures. So are they really in touch with serious people? Fuck, and I can't just leave. "There's nothing to do with you here." Daniel tries to appease him for the 100th time, like, "Don't be nervous, bro. What's the difference, Danny? It has to do with you. You got family here, businesses, and general threat is coming from them. We'll figure out everything step by step. We're moving on. All is gonna be fine, bro." Brother, more than anything, I want you to stay safe. If they have connections that big, it's unlikely we can get away with that. We have opened 3 cases already, and then he sends him those cases, and I don't have the rest of the correspondence here. Okay, so what are the cases? It means that criminal cases were initiated against somebody who was giving them headache. So first Maxim, the security head, was the fixer, or he was a double agent telling people to strain both of them and then got money from them for solving the problems. So generally speaking, there were people trying to get money from Edward and Daniel, and the guards were the fixers. Then the guards were told to fuck off. They got Daniel's relative to the Palm Island and revealed all the incriminating evidence, saying like, "Man, you owe us money. Make Daniel talk." But Edward in this situation for some reason took the guard's side, so literally a couple of weeks before that he was on Danny's side, worrying about him, and now he's like, "Danny, you're the main founder, you owe money, yada yada yada." So what could possibly force Edward to speak like that publicly and reveal himself having the house worth of 1 billion rubles? Clearly, the security guys prompted him to do so. Even if someone owed that money to them, according to the contract, they could file a lawsuit and get that money back. But there never were any contracts really, and they just realized that Magsumov was merely a businessman, and Sabirov was a wanted man, which meant he was easy to manipulate because they had all the compromising evidence against him, and they could get Magsumov only through Edward. Let's say the guards would go, "Magsumov is the great founder of Finico." Magsumov would say, "Guys, fuck off." But if Sabirov himself makes such a statement, he will be heard. But there's one more thing. Why would they prompt Sabirov to do so? To make this statement about Magsumov being the great Cardinal of Finiko? It's simple. They all have common businesses. And the security head, Maxim, together with Magsumov, he has a stake in a car detailing business in Dubai. And in order to take over the entire business, they should put Magsumov in prison in Russia. And to make this happen, Sabirov should publicly admit that they were friends with Magsumov, that he was taken to Dubai, that Magsumov helped him with money, covered him up, solved criminal issues. It's Sabirov who should tell everything, and only then Magsumov may be incarcerated in Russia. Please help me spread this video as much as you can, so this person could not escape and somehow stay unpunished. So, according to their plan, after Edward Sabirov's public statement, Magsumov should have been arrested and imprisoned in Russia. And since Maxim, the security head guy, has a stake in Magsumov's business here in Dubai, he would have just simply come to him directly like, "Bro, you either give me your part of the business or we will hand all the information about you to Russians and you'll get a long sentence." So this was the plan as I can see it. Their number one goal was to make Magsumov end up in jail. It was clear that Magsumov was related to Finico. They just simply spoiled relations with each other. But what are the things like now? Magsumov's business is gradually being torn apart by the security guys. They are demanding money and lands, etc. But the interesting thing is that when I got the video recordings from the car services CCTV, I overheard a little phrase there. Some woman, who wasn't even listed on papers, started yelling, "Edward said that all of you should leave. Go away and don't come back here again." Go away, Edward said so, and Edward is not even in this business. Magsumov is there, some guards from the security team may be there, but some woman goes, "Leave, Edward said so," and it basically means that the entire business was founded with Edward's money, and Edward got the money from Finico. All the funds that these men stole should be returned to all those deceived people who took out loans, sold their property. I want this money to be seized. Edward just found some people, including Magsumov, security guards, somebody else, registered stuff in their names, then they had a fight, and in the end all the compromising material got in the hands of the guards, and the guards gave him a condition: we either fuck you up or you go public about Magsumov being a secret owner. They shut him down, and we take over all the businesses here, including yours. See what I'm talking about? The entire businesses have been made here with the Finico's money, and there's a war being waged over those businesses with blackmailing and stuff. So here's the last proof that it's not Sabirov who's posting all the materials on his Telegram channel. It's not him, he's been in jail for like 2 days. Interpol caught him, but the posts just keep on coming. It is the guards who keep posting all that. Here on the left you can see the WhatsApp group with all the videos and photos that Sabirov posted on his Telegram channel. So it's the security guys who keep posting them. They simply had access to that chat, took all the videos with Magsumov from there, his swaggering, including that photo of his father. By the way, the photo is cropped. If you take the full photo, he's with one of the guards on it. They were guarding him. They infiltrated the whole family, and throughout the year they were getting money from them. Knowing that they are all related to Finico, so they decided to beat them to the fullest and take their money. So when they realized that they wanted to get rid of them, they just went all in, publicly hanging their banners, sharing a full link to the Telegram channel on their Instagram, bringing in bloggers. Can you imagine? Even that security head's wife liked my Instagram story where I was watching Sabirov exposing Magsumov on TV, and I was also there on that broadcast. She subscribed to my Instagram. She's a PR woman. Imagine that? And now everything has finally fallen into place. Why did Edward need to go public with all that stuff and reveal the Grey Cardinal? You're fine here. The reason is that he was forced to do so by those people who possessed incriminating evidence and who could have handed him over to Interpol. And it happened so. He's in jail now. And meanwhile, in Sochi, Vasilievka village, where Magsumov's father's house is located, you can spot G-Wagons, the same ones that you can see on the security agency's Instagram page. You can check the license plate numbers, they match. They've been driving past that house for the last 2 days, coming to the car wash where Magsumov's family washes their cars, filming everything around, trying to get as much incriminating material as they can. So, all the photos of the cars, yachts, real estate and cars, everything found within the last days, all of that will be uploaded to the Telegram channel. They are coming there wearing their branded t-shirts, taking pictures, driving around in their G-Wagons. Can you imagine? All the clients who have worked with this security agency, well, there are also drivers, managers and other people. Like jackals, they are tearing apart other jackals who once tore apart the poorer folk in Russia. So this is the whole story behind the dirt that Sabirov posted and the dirt that Magsumov, his friend and accomplice, posted in response. Maybe there was money laundering, maybe he used that money to make the businesses go and thereby whitewash everyone. Either the investigation will reveal the details or Magsumov himself will provide more information. But some of it I have already found out myself from local entrepreneurs. Yeah, there are more entrepreneurs who build their businesses with Finico's money. Well, partially with Finico's money, partially with their own money. I even heard that Edward had given someone 170 million rubles. It's like 10 million dirhams. And that man just took the money and told Edward to fuck off. 45 traders make their decisions by themselves. Don't agree with that. There are 50 of them. And I would also like to ask the law enforcement authorities to detain Magsumov Daniel Magsumov as soon as possible and conduct a confrontation between him and Kirill Doronin. He will tell you why all this is possible, how the production department of our company works in terms of money generation. You may ask, what about Marat? Where is he? Well, I don't know this one yet, but I know one thing for sure, that after this video I may need some kind of security, and I know for sure what kind of security I will not hire for myself. If you want to support our YouTube channel, I leave a link to the crypto wallet in the description. We will need this support both for security and future investigations. What will happen after this video is out? I cannot imagine at all. It's going to be some kind of explosion, and I want to ask you to share this video, like it, and subscribe to the channel, because the majority of people watch our videos from the section with recommended videos, so please subscribe. And if someone tells you that money solves all the problems, there are people who think so. I think from this video you have learned that it doesn't, even if you have 1 billion rubles. So thank you guys, links to all our resources are in the description. Subscribe,